Hi, everyone. I hope you are doing well. I felt called to come on here today and record what's hopefully going to be a quick video for you guys. Just a topic that's um, really presented itself for me very strongly this week. And then I had dinner with some friends Friday night, and we were really just talking about and going over, like, hashing out, like, gosh, how much things have shifted lately, and in the sense of there really are two worlds that seem to be existing on Earth right now. And I've talked about existing in two realms before. I've talked about 3D, 5D. A lot of readers and spiritual guides, and I've talked about it, but I really noticed the shift more than I ever have. A week ago today, I was at a concert in Cincinnati, and I was there alone. And when I walked in, and I've been to concerts. I go to concerts all the time. This is the first one I'd been to since last summer. And walking around in the general mission area, I was just floored. It's like hard to describe it, and it's almost like making me emotional because most of the people there didn't seem like humans. And I'm not trying to, like, I'm not doing some weird conspiracy stuff or anything. I just mean they were so devoid of joy that they were almost robotic. And it was very depressing to see this. Like, they weren't engaged with the people they were with. They weren't really engaged in the music. They were just there. And it was kind of, as an empath, it was kind of hard to be around that. And it was sad. I was like, wow. And then I went upstairs and I went to the City View Lounge that I got. Thank God I got that. And I was able to get away from that energy. And I met amazing people. And they were people who, come to find out, we had mutual friends on Facebook. Anyway, they were like, if you have his beliefs, then we're opposite, so they were obviously, like, on the other end of my beliefs. But that didn't matter. They were high vibrational. And we laughed, and I, put the differences aside, and these are people that I'll probably hang out with and meet at other events, at another time. And so my point being, there's this world that exists right now where people are so divided, so negative, so much hate. It's this or that, and everything is turned into, like, anger, hatred, darkness. And then there's this other realm where people can meet each other and gravitate towards each other and not talk about their beliefs and just focus on joy. And these were older guys, probably, I don't know, probably in their 50s. And there was just this draw, and there wasn't, any, I wasn't sensing any creepiness or any attraction. There was none of that. It was just, they were drawn to my energy, and they were fun, and they had personality, they had joy. They had spark, they had fun, they were alive. And I feel like, I don't know if you all have witnessed this lately, but there's so many people that don't seem alive anymore. And I don't, we can get into all those things. I'm going to make, the pandemic, what is it? Is it social media? But there's a lot of stuff happening, right? But it's just like this breaking away where it feels like when I was in that energy walking around, I felt like I'm not even in, it was like I was in my own little bubble as this observer watching, like, almost like I was, like, from another planet. Like, what is this? What are these creatures? Like, they aren't human, because what I am experiencing as a human now is in another realm. And it's not just me. You don't have to, I guess what I'm saying, obviously, to have a certain vibration, you have to have certain experiences, do work, heal and truly love yourself. But these guys hadn't done that, presumably. um, and, I meet a lot of high vibrational people out. So where I'm going with this is, I think most people are in this middle road here, where, you're starting to notice and get tired of the negativity, the toxicity, the hatred, and just not even wanting to be around people, right? Not just sensing that there's like something that's just almost animalistic, or not just, it's like, what is wrong with people, or what the heck is this? Like, what is going on? And then, but you're not at this stage maybe where you're a weirdo like me, and you're talking about all these crazy things, and doing tarot and doing all this stuff, right? But you may feel this draw to it. You may feel this like, this doesn't resonate with me anymore. This way of being, people being nasty to each other, people being hateful. Where did the basic decency go? Where did just helping out your neighbor, just being kind? It doesn't matter, yeah, we might have different beliefs, and you may not want somebody in your life, like as a partner, or somebody that's like, where you're like having to share this, you wanting to share the same foundation and same beliefs, but that doesn't mean you can't be a friend with somebody. That doesn't mean you can't be kind to them, right? And so what this message is going is, like, I feel like many people who are in this middle of the road state are kind of lost. Like, what the heck is this? Like, I don't want a part of being human anymore, but yet I don't feel like I'm at this stage where, like, I'm doing all this spiritual work and awakenings, and what is all this? So you're kind of in this middle, and I feel like trying to figure out your way, because the old ways of being, the way these people are staying stuck in the lower timelines, the lower vibrations, the hatred, the darkness, that's not where you want to be. But yet you're not like wanting to commit to a spiritual path. You're not wanting to do the type of things that I'm doing, or others are doing, which is fine, right? So what does that mean? What do you do? You may be afraid of change. You may be anxious because there's more. You sense there's more, that there's this shift happening, but you don't know how to address it. You don't know how to deal with it. Okay, so I want to just set out a few things. Again, I'm trying to keep this short, but pursue your passions. Pursue your passions, whatever that is. Not too, there's nothing too big, nothing too small. You guys know, for me, it was becoming a Pound Fitness instructor, and also tarot and doing, my spiritual things. I also go to hot yoga. But, through that, I've met high vibrational people. I go to concerts, and, I love music. So anything that brings you joy is going to raise your vibration. And it's going to help you draw in more of the positive people and experiences versus the dark ones. It's going to help you break free from that and start associating just with happier times. And when you kind of, it becomes a little bit easier to, I don't want to say turn a blind eye to it, but it's almost like you're creating your own new reality. That's only, I'm in my happy bubble. I'm doing what makes me happy. I'm around people that uplift me. And if these people want to play out the drama and play out the chaos and play out the hatred, I wish them the best, but I'm not engaging in that. I'm not a part of that. I am literally creating my own new reality. And what does that mean? No, it doesn't mean like I'm, obviously I still, we still live in the 3D society. We still go to our job, but it's like, it's that energetic bubble. It's that energy that we have inside us and that we emanate that makes getting through the day not only bearable, but joyful. Okay, so pursue your passions. Gratitude, giving gratitude, even if it's a bad day or something crazy happens. It's like, well, thankfully, it wasn't this bad. It could have always been worse. Even if you can find gratitude for the smallest things, like I'm so grateful for this delicious meal that I'm having tonight. I'm so grateful for my friends. I'm so grateful for my animals. Like, I'm so grateful for the shelter and the roof over my head, right? Starting to focus on the things you have versus the things you lack. That is huge and create major shifts in your life. Starting to look at things from a higher perspective, right? That's where that comes from. But also the lessons. Instead of, why is that happening to me? Why is this happening? Why is everything hard? Because you're saying it is. If you start looking at it like, okay, there were some red flags there, and it reminds me of a situation that I've seen this lesson a few times. Okay, I understand, right? And you start to recognize how you grew from it versus how it was unfair and how it was awful. You look at it as an opportunity to evolve. That shifts your perspective, it raises your vibration, and it's going to pull you into, like I said, this new reality, where, you start to find it doesn't mean bad things can't happen, right? But it's almost like this shit show toxicity drama, like it no longer resonates, and you don't engage in it, and you don't allow it into your field. And a lot of these people won't even approach you anymore. And if they do, or if something happens, it's just kind of like, I've got this. Like, it's a different mindset that brings in a different way you react to things, if that makes sense. So again, the toxic situations, cut toxic people out, set boundaries, and don't feel bad about it. That was a huge struggle for me on my journey, but things really shifted for me once I started setting boundaries and stopped letting people drain me. Jobs included. Getting out in nature and engaging in self-care. Very, very critical. Anything that brings you peace. Like I said, that goes back to your passions, but your passions are more your creative outlet. That's more like what fuels your fire, what gets you excited, what's like, your adrenaline. The self-care is more the relaxing, yoga, be it a hot bath, hot Epsom salt bath. That's like my thing, and hot yoga. If it's just relaxing at night with a cup of tea or a glass of wine and your pet, your cat or dog on your lap, engage in that more. Also, you may, if you don't have interest in spirituality, that's fine. But I think most people shy away from it because they're afraid, because they don't feel worthy, because they don't feel like they have gifts. They don't feel like, they're going to be able to do it. There's no right or wrong way. So, if you're drawn to reading the Bible or reading, passages from the more religious texts, that's great. That's how you connect. You might want to buy oracle cards. That's how I started. I was just drawn to buy oracle cards, angel oracle cards. I have no idea why. I thought, I'm not good at this. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm not a tarot reader. But I was drawn to start working with the cards. And I was amazed when I started getting messages that were clearly speaking to me and were absolutely spot on. Then I started working with crystals, right? So it doesn't have to be something that you have to share with anyone, or feel like you have to do it as a career. It just can be for your own self-discovery, to see what messages the angels have for you, your higher self has for you. Asking for signs and synchronicities, that was huge for me. I started that like in 2008. I still didn't awaken until 2017, but that's okay. You don't have to go through the full-blown spiritual awakening. You don't have to launch onto the path, right? You can still tap in. You're worthy of that. And it helps you feel at peace and at ease and, ease your anxiety when you ask for a sign and you get it. I don't know how many times I would ask, am I making the right decision? At that time it was ending my first marriage. I was terrified. I knew deep down, like, I wasn't happy, but I was so scared of change. And I don't know how many times, like, I would ask for a blue butterfly or whatever it was, and it would be huge. It would be like on a billboard. It wasn't like I'd see a little, whatever. It was massive. Like, one time I even tripped over something. Like, I asked for like a green circle, and within 15 minutes I tripped over something in a yard that had a green circle on the top. I was like, okay. My point being, you start to tap into your own power to connect with God. And when you do that, again, you get that peace, you get that clarity, and you start to realize these people, who engage in hatred and I mean, it's like, that's not what it's about. But you start to be able to tune it out more when you can tune in to what's inside of you, to what's available to you, all right, outside of this world. And when you start to realize there is a world outside of this world, there's a whole other universe, there is a heaven, there is, higher dimensions, and that we are being supported and guided, that is just the most comforting thing to get us through these challenging times, and to help you shift out of that lower vibrational energy where, these people, it's you don't have to stay stuck in that, and you really can make a shift. Okay. So again, you start bringing in like-minded individuals when you do these things, when you pursue your passions. Maybe just joining, a group, like a hiking group, going to the gym, maybe going to, sometimes our community centers, Kettering Rec Center here, they might have different little classes that you could even, if you're a mom, you could take your kids to. You might meet other moms. Like, when you start to really focus on yourself and the things that make you happy and bring you joy, you do start to bring in other like-minded people. And when you have that community and you have that support, and you realize it doesn't have to be, again, I'm using the word shit show, it doesn't have to be a shit show of drama and like games and manipulation and codependency, and just, it's like, you lift each other up. And it's, then the more you tap into these things, the more you can surrender to whatever's happening in the outside world, and knowing that we're going to be okay. Right? And knowing that there's this higher purpose for things, it does enable you to work through the negative easier and kind of brush it aside, and really just, it's all about bringing your light and balancing it with the light. So I hope that was helpful, you guys. I could really talk about this topic for a long time, but if you feel like you are kind of in between worlds right now, if you feel stuck, if you want to know how to tap into your spirituality, if you have questions about the spiritual journey, if you have questions about, what's going on just in your life in general, and how to process and how to work through some of these things that are coming up for you, I do offer customizable sessions where we can look into those things. So I hope that was helpful, guys. Take care.